Oh, hey, Alice. Fancy seeing you here. You came at a good time. We got Michael and Jackson. Michael
Hello.
Jackson.
Michael
Yes,
Jackson.
from Good News for Modern Man.
Yes. Right on.
Thank you,
Awesome.
gentlemen, for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having us, guys. Cordie and Alex.
Yeah. So you guys just released a new video, Everything is Fine,
Yep.
a couple months ago.
Yeah.
And it's really fucking awesome.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah. So what can we expect going forward? Like, what's on the agenda?
We did that session at Queen Avenue, which is really awesome. We worked with Cordie and Mike over there, and they're really cool. And we did that live session. We did like 6 songs that day that we recorded, all just like straight live. And we're gonna we put out the video for Everything is Fine, and then here in like a week or so, we're putting out the single, the studio version on all streaming and everything.
Nice.
And then we're kind of doing it like one song at a time that way, and releasing singles for a while, and hopefully release it as like a full EP later in the year or something.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. We were like brand new band, so, and with like the pandemic and everything, it was hard to like get shows. So we were like, let's just pay and just get a really nice looking video, and then that's like content to put out. And
Hell yeah.
Get shows. So
when like different occurrences, like gotta plan like different ways of thinking, ways of gotta survive and like figure out how to operate.
Yeah.
So
you gotta figure out how to do
adapt is I guess what I mean.
Yeah.
So let's just segue right fucking into it. What do you guys think happens after we die, and in any particular order?
I have.
Let me. I gotta die.
Do you want to start?
I'll die. Just die quick.
No,
I don't know. No one knows. I don't know.
This thing, no one. I have like.
No one on this planet knows the answer.
That's the thing. I'm not religious at all, but I'm not an atheist at all either.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like neither, because.
Well, how would we know?
That's my thing. Is I'm like, I don't apply to any sort of religion, because I don't think it's like picking one out of all of them is like the right way. But then also to say for sure, there's nothing like atheism is like being religious. It's the same thing to me. It's just like saying I know for sure what's going on, and it's like, why as a human would you say I got it, I nailed it?
We don't know shit. Anyone who says they know is just full of shit.
Right.
And I should have prefaced like you said, like no one knows, but I think we all have kind of like inclinations or like different ideas about what it might be.
And hopes for what it could be.
I think that's why everyone
Like,
gets worried too. That's why a lot of people probably get worried to die, because there's so many different. I don't know. Everyone believes something different.
Yeah, true. Do you have any inclination? Like does one thing seem more plausible to another for you?
No.
Okay.
No.
I feel like there's
fair enough.
I feel like there's probably, all I can say is I feel like there's probably something as opposed to nothing.
Oh yeah, of course. I'm definitely leaning that way.
So.
Okay, so like something happens.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Probably.
I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning the same
But I'm
way.
open to whatever that could be.
Yeah.
Apply to any one thing.
And I think I just have like a vibe about that. Like that's just an intuition for me. It sounds like the same for you guys.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that seems like it's pretty, like most people I think would agree with that. Atheism is probably, or like an atheist death, where when you're dead, is probably like an outlier on the way people think.
Right.
I would imagine.
Right. There's so many stories of people talking about like meeting loved ones and having near-death experiences and stuff. Like a lot of them could just be bullshit, but then some of them could actually have some truth to them. We don't know. So
yeah.
I feel like it's all really interesting and fun to think about.
Yeah.
Like as long as somebody's not shoving it down my throat and it's not coming from a place of like inciting fear. Like
exactly.
I like to study a lot of different things. It's just like at the end of the day, there's no like hard fast proof of anything. And so it's, to make a terrible comparison, you'll have to cut it out. Sorry, me. Like not for the world to see because it's got an image, but I feel like it's kind of like astrology, it's fun to think about, like when it comes to witchcraft, it's like I want to believe, but
Ooh.
I don't believe in anything. So like
Those are
it's like,
fighting
we'll
words.
play along. It's like we're take it till we make it stuff.
Right.
Well,
But like
that's
I'm
yes,
so
that's actually
agnostic
it.
that I
though.
just feel like anybody could be right, anybody could be wrong. Like how the fuck do we know? Like
Yeah.
I'm nobody. You're
And-
fucking nobody too. We don't know.
I think you just hit the nail on the head though when you said like you fake it till you make it. That's how magic works. Is like
Mhm,
belief itself is power.
mhm.
Like whatever
But
you
you could
believe, if you
also,
believe
like,
it enough,
Maybe
Yeah.
it's all just like different languages of saying the same thing, right? Like because you could say the
It's
same
all
thing about social
semantics.
psychology.
Sure.
You could say the same thing about the law of
You
attraction.
could take the word magic out of
Psychology
it
says like
entirely.
you see what you expect to see and you don't see what you don't expect to see, and that's fucking true. It's a human phenomenon. But like you could also say that's the law of attraction. You could say that's magic.
It's you call it anything. It's semantics for sure.
Chris Angel.
Holla,
Oh,
Chris,
Yeah.
my boy, Chris Angel.
my boy.
What's up, Chris?
Yeah, surprise guest, Chris Angel, everybody.
Oh my gosh.
Chris,
He
come on in.
just fucking apparates out of the floor.
I try. I'm such a big fan.
I wish.
So how did you guys meet?
It's fun.
Craigslist.
Craigslist.
Hell yeah.
I've
I
met
literally
some of the
moved
best
here. It
friends
wasn't
I
even
know from
bands. It was like a
Craigslist.
hookup.
It
It was a
hookup thing.
hookup,
Yeah.
and he showed up.
He
And we've been in
catfished me.
love ever since.
You're like,
Yeah.
we should start a
I
band.
was gonna
Chris
catfish
Wyman.
him, and then he was a good drummer, so I was like, okay.
That's
why.
Everybody needs a good drummer.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
if they're not an
Thank you,
asshole,
guys.
like you better marry him.
Exactly. He wasn't an asshole, and
Please marry me.
and we'll get married after this. It's fine. Wait,
So-
he wasn't an asshole, and he was a good drummer, and he was open, and he liked the music, so it was fine. But
And
yeah, I
people-
literally just put up like indie band needs drummer, and he was like one of the people, and we like
Hell yeah.
right.
Okay, that's not the way.
So where's the name of the band come from?
So, do you like Husker Du? They were like a punk band from the 80s.
Ooh.
Maybe not.
Yeah,
I don't
the-
think
Ooh.
I'm
I'm
familiar.
intrigued now.
I'm
Like,
intrigued. Yeah,
tell me more.
they're a punk band from the 80s from Minneapolis. They're really good. I love punk rock, and I love old like punk rock, and I started like a hardcore band, but then they got way more, like still were punk but got way more melodic like as they were going on. Anyway, I'm just a huge fan of their music. And Grant Hart, the drummer, they broke up in the late 80s, and then Grant Hart put out a solo album called Good News for Modern Man, which I just saw and thought it was a good title. And then when I was looking it up, I found out that that album that he put out was released like on the exact day I was born. Like,
Wow.
on the
It's in the stars.
So that I was
Yeah,
like, well,
dude.
if that's a sign, then I need a sign. Like, because I was like,
Now I do believe.
I was like, I should,
Yeah, exactly.
I
I was
should
gonna
use
relate
this
that.
name, and then I found out it came out the day I was born, and I was like, well, then I gotta use this name. So it's
Fuck
so then
yeah.
so I haven't looked back since, and I was like, yeah, it's a good name.
That's a great story.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I ask people that and they're just like, I don't know.
Yeah, like I chose it.
That's
I
a
was
good
like,
story.
Yeah, yeah. So there you go. Because I've had some people tell it too, and they're like, that's like pretty long, or like it's all this stuff, and I'm like, I don't give a shit. It's the name I like. It's
Fuck
fine.
it.
And every band name is terrible until that band
It's
is
a good
popular.
abbreviation though,
Straight
because
up.
it's like long
I like
enough for
that-
it to
I
like
like that
mean
philosophy.
something,
Every
but
band
like
is awful.
also it's letters that like not another band has.
Exactly.
So, like people are
Exactly.
gonna write it
It's
like that.
memorable. People are like, what?
So
So
it sticks
That's how
out
we
for a
write
while.
it together. So
yeah, exactly.
one
So
day
there you go.
everybody.
Yeah, one day. That's like, that's the thing. Some people said it's like too long and all that stuff. I'm like, I don't care. It's fine. Every band name is terrible until the band becomes popular.
That's a philosophy
There's-
to live by. Yeah.
There's so many popular bands that if they weren't popular and you were like, have you heard of this band? And you'd be like, what are they called? Like,
They're
imagine-
called a
Fall
Vince
Out Boy.
Southern Pole.
imagine if a new band came out
Such a
right
good
now
band.
as a metal band. Like, what are you gonna call? And they're like, call Metallica. You'd be like, sounds cool, but because we know them as Metallica, people don't question it.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, so many band names are like cheesy and whatever, but they're great bands. So when they're famous, you don't even think of them.
You know,
That's what they say.
Mhm.
It's just you think of that band.
The
So
name
that's-
just pops up and you're like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's fine. So I didn't stress it too much. And after I saw that, I was like, I have a good story to defend it if anyone ever asks me what it is. So
I have a two-parter question for you guys.
two-part question.
Two parts. Do you believe in aliens? Part one, extraterrestrial
The big questions are
outside this planet.
Yeah.
Part two, interdimensional, like what you might call ghosts, aliens, like not aliens, but like demons, spirits, like off this plane. So I guess part 1.
The aliens thing?
Yeah, like extraterrestrial.
Sure. Again, I don't have an active belief in it, but I think that's really
Definitely life.
closed-minded to think that it's just us and like the whole
For sure.
universe.
Yeah.
That's pretty insane.
I
Like,
guess,
I don't think they're close to us really or anything. I'm not sure if I believe
Again,
that
we
they
know
are.
nothing.
But again, who the fuck
I
knows?
guess let me make that a 3-part question.
Did the government say there's aliens? Wasn't that
Yeah,
recent?
we actually.
They said that there's aliens.
Funny enough, we actually on the podcast reviewed the fucking.
We
the-
interviewed
the
an alien
document.
on the
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah, on the podcast.
He was a naked one.
Yeah. No, we read the documents that they released about it. They what was it called? The UAPs. They don't call them UFOs anymore. Unidentified aerial phenomena.
Is that
And-
PC to say UFO anymore?
Yeah, no, you could really offend someone. That's not.
Yeah.
uh,
They don't identify as UFOs anymore.
no, what it is basically what it. So it's so fucked. Basically, they were like unidentified aerial phenomena, and this is our report of every unidentified aerial phenomena. So what they're effectively telling you is, if we knew what this was, we wouldn't put it on the list. So if we know it's aliens, it's exclusively not on this list. And most of what was on the list was like weather balloons,
Okay.
like really fucking like stuff they listed a bunch of UAPs that they actually found out what they were later, and it's
Okay.
like balloons and like
Oh, I
trash.
got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they this fucking shit all over us like they usually do.
Right.
But yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. There's so much stuff hidden.
Yeah.
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 I have no idea. I think there probably is.
I guess I'm gonna make that like a 3rd-part question, because I completely agree with you guys that it's like pretty maybe like self-centered to think there's no life in the universe outside Earth. So let me say, like, do you think extraterrestrial life has interacted with Earth in the past or currently?
I have no idea. Possibly. I would not be surprised if I heard that it was.
Yeah.
I just don't know if even everyone would believe it if it had happened. Like most people wouldn't. It'd be like most people, like half the people would think it's real and half the people think it's a hoax anyway. So
Yeah.
if it had happened, no one would agree that it even happened.
Sure.
So that's the thing.
So
So
no, that's just the government coming.
exactly, exactly. You can't get anyone to agree on anything. Yeah.
You'd have to be there. You
Yeah.
would get it.
Okay. So what about interdimensional aliens?
I've never thought the only like interdimensional things I've ever like thought about is stuff like I think like multiverse like theory type of thing is really really interesting. But other than that, I haven't like considered stuff like that very much. But I'm like open to it. I'm not gonna say like that's definitely not real. It's like it could definitely be like for real, but
Yeah.
I don't really know anything about it to be honest.
I agree with him.
I gotcha. So I guess that
My
goes.
drummer agrees with me.
I agree with him.
I put that in the Craigslist ad. I was like, must agree.
You
with
must
me.
agree. Every subject.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I-
Hard caps. Like,
Yeah. You're either with me or against me on these podcasts.
He's been groomed for this
He's
day.
been groomed, yeah.
Yeah.
These
We
are
talked about
our beliefs.
We've actually been here for an hour in the car. I've been getting
We went over the
talk
script.
outside. Like we know what to fucking talk about.
What did I say?
What I say?
If I mess up, I'm screwed.
Go wait in the car. Wait in the fucking car.
But I get 3 strikes.
Yeah.
No, I do agree. Yeah.
Oh fuck, where was I?
Interdimensional spirits.
Yeah. So okay, so that brings me into my next question. I'm like, do you guys have any ghost stories or things you can't explain that have happened to you?
I feel like I don't think I have any like direct ghost stories. I feel like everyone, like half the time, people don't have a direct one. They're like my friend's cousin's girlfriend stayed in a creepy
Everyone
house
has,
one
yeah.
time, or like whatever. But I don't have any like ones that have happened to me personally. Really,
There's definitely been like energy from like people that have passed. I think if they're close, I feel like there's definitely something there. I don't know.
Like something lingers. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not like everywhere. It's very rare.
I think my family stayed in a beach house that was haunted one time.
There's definitely
When I was
ghosts.
really, really little. They just told me about it. I don't remember it, but they were
Mm.
like, that house was haunted for real.
Yeah,
They just like
stuff's
said they felt
definitely
weird stuff downstairs like all the time. So I guess that's my half a ghost story.
For me, I was raised really religiously, and like when I got away from that, like I moved out at 18, and like that really like I was pretty much an atheist at the time. And like I just had like this disdain for like religion and Christianity at the time, because it was like forced on me as a kid.
Yeah.
So I went, and I had never experienced anything. That's why I was like hard atheist on it. And but I was like, I'm gonna push this and see if I can do something. And so I like got really into witchcraft and chaos magic and like Aleister Crowley and Thelema. And like basically my point was like I didn't ever experience anything supernatural or weird until I went looking for it. And even then I think like I think it's important to keep like my experiences could be rationalized with some kind of like mental illness. So I think that's important to keep in mind, even though I don't think that's what it is. I think for my own sake, it's important to keep that in the back of my head, even though I don't think that's what's happening.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
actually, really, sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I'm gonna ask a question. So say what you're gonna say. I'll remember it.
I wasn't gonna say anything that important. So go
It's
ahead.
gonna be funny. Fucked it up again.
No, it was not. I promise.
So on the subject of mental health, do you guys have strong opinions on the conversation of mental health? Like,
It's
so like
a
it's something
serious-
that like it's
it's
still has
very
a stigma
serious.
to talk about. So like if you have feelings on the matter of any kind, or if you prefer to not express feelings, either way, I was just curious, like if that is a topic,
Oh, I
if you have
don't.
anything to say about.
I'll talk about it. I don't have. I mean, I have strong opinions in that. It's definitely something that it's incredibly important, and is as important as your physical health. You need to like keep it in check and take care of it. But I don't know what I have like strong opinions on. I'm just glad that there's more awareness of things like that now. It's cool that like it's okay to say like that it's pretty normalized to be like I'm on medication or I go to therapy or things like that is really, really healthy.
Yeah,
Like, in this
people
day
don't
and age.
immediately, they're not like, therapy,
Yeah.
are you okay? It's like,
Oh,
yeah,
and I mean,
that's
some
why we're in
people-
therapy. Like we're following the process.
fixing
And it's sad because some people still have like that experience with like their families and their parents and stuff, and that does really suck. But I'm lucky to have a pretty supportive family and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's just something you got to keep in check, and you got to definitely take care of because it's really important.
Mhm. It's not your fault, but it is your responsibility.
Hey,
Right
that's
on.
great.
Mm.
That should be on a t-shirt. That's amazing.
That's man, that's
a
true on so
bumper
many
sticker if
levels,
I've ever
right?
heard one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't write it.
Maybe I'm like reading into that too much, but that's true of like the world we're in.
It's a mantra, yeah.
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 It's like the world we're in, like it's not, we didn't do that, but we gotta fix it.
Yeah.
That's a big part of why I started doing this, like not with like delusions of grandeur or anything, like, oh, it's so important,
Mhm.
but I'm trying, like in my own small way, trying to like, the world's sick and it like actually bothers me, like it upsets me. And I think we haven't like, we've just been talking about aliens and ghosts tonight, but like some things that like, we've been talking about, like maybe aren't things like mental illness are not things people are comfortable talking about, and maybe it's good, for people to hear discussion about it,
Oh yeah. Make it more relevant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fun with friends to have the big questions and like talk about that kind of stuff and figure out where your friends are at with stuff like
Yeah.
that. It's interesting just to hear everyone's different perspective on it and learn like perspectives about it because it
Yeah.
can change yours. And
Everyone's-
I have a lot of friends that are talking about that
Sorry,
stuff.
I'm
with.
so
No, you're
sorry.
good. No,
I'm
you're
sorry.
good. You're good. We talked about this, man.
I agree.
But you're just gonna let your drummer speak like that? You're not gonna punish him?
You're not gonna
I
punish
agree.
him?
Well, I'm actually trying to set him up for failure. That's why I'm asking like experience questions, not yes or no questions. I'm like, you can't have the same experience.
Oh, we do
actually
have
never
the
thought
hammer.
about this.
We do.
We
Don't
so-
spoil it
oh, okay.
What
Well, I'll
is
just, in case you need it.
I was wondering what that
in case
You split. So she made this. This is the gavel. It's if we ever need order in the
What's in it?
court.
What disorder?
It's made of magic. It's magic inside.
Okay, I won't ask any more than what it is.
You can hold the power if you like.
I don't think I'm
Are you
deserving
worthy?
of it. I'm not worthy. I don't think.
You kind of look like Thor.
My hands.
He does look like
My hands
Thor.
don't work.
Oh, can you? He can. Don't you feel powerful?
Decently.
Yeah,
Decently.
You can even hit people with it.
that's true.
Yeah,
You
can I?
Yeah.
can. Yes.
Yeah.
You can hit anyone you want. You could hit the police. You can hit the
No,
president.
You really
I don't think
can't.
I don't think.
Can I say that?
No, I heard you can now.
I
can?
told you not to get into
Yeah, I've read
this.
stuff on that. It's a new law.
Oh, cool.
You can hit them.
You heard it first here. That's what we're spreading information. You know, like, yeah. So when's the last time you guys cried? For me, I just recently read Mouse, which is a comic book about the Holocaust, and I was
A
weeping.
comic.
Yeah, I've actually got it. I'll show
They're
you.
both like, what the fuck you?
Holy shit, it's sketched out.
Well, I
No,
was not
dude,
expecting
you
when I
gotta see
heard
this.
comic book. I just wasn't expecting about
You're
that.
like, oh, good, happy times.
Yeah, I was like, oh, nice graphics and happy.
About to cut this off.
Jeez. So this is volume 2, but so
Oh, I've seen that.
Yeah, it was our book club book last month.
Oh, yeah,
This
I
month
probably
is,
saw it on your
Source
Instagram,
Five.
too.
If you guys
Oh,
want to
It's about
participate,
mice.
yeah.
And
So basically, the author of this book, his dad
Done.
was good job.
Finished.
Man, you're a quick reader.
He's a
I'm
speed
good. Go
reader.
ahead. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Spencer Reed over here.
Um,
Never mind.
the his dad was in Auschwitz, and it's like him getting the story from his dad,
Ooh.
and it's brutal, man.
Did he do all like the art too?
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Oh.
Dude,
So
that's
and like he talks about like in a little intro why they're mice.
I was
and-
just about to ask.
and why the Germans are cats, and it's because Hitler had used propaganda calling the Jews rats, so he was kind of like taking that and like shoving it like back on it kind of thing. It's really powerful.
Oh,
But
sure.
yeah, we read that on the book club last month. This month we're reading Slaughterhouse-5, and yeah, you guys can join us if you want. We do a discussion at the end of the month.
Dude, I don't think I'd be
It's
able to
always the last
finish a book
Wednesday of
at
the
the end
month,
of
the
it.
25th.
Yeah, you can do it. Audiobooks.
I'd be in bitch time.
This is Audible.
Yeah, I have the Audible. It's narrated by James Franco. It's good.
Yeah, I read that too.
It's only like
And so
4
guys-
hours and some odd minutes of your time.
That's not bad.
That's not
Mhm.
bad.
Yeah, this is
Like if you work a job that you can have headphones, if you drive a
I'm
long
just
way to
skimming through
job.
this and I can already tell this is brutal. It's insane.
yeah. Oh, but yeah. Anyway, that's I read this, and that was the last time I cried. What about you guys?
I've never cried.
Okay,
joking.
Not once.
No.
I don't know.
That's maybe
It wasn't
also
long
a
ago. I'm
question
not
you
trying to
don't
be
have
like, I
to
never
answer.
cry. I'm just being like,
I remember. It was
I
like a
cried
month
4
ago.
times today. And then,
yeah,
After he
problem.
beat you
Yeah.
again.
again and again and
It was a
again.
good cry. No, probably
We're joking. I don't beat Michael. I need to remember
Hard.
that.
you should see my bruises.
Ugh.
I don't know, probably less than a month ago.
I don't know.
Are you
No.
comfortable expressing why? For Alex?
Because of life, you know.
Just like-
That's
Fair
the
enough.
answer,
Mental ill-
honestly. No.
yeah.
Yeah,
Life will make you cry for sure.
it gets tough sometimes.
Yeah.
No
Like
idea. It wasn't too.
Feels
long
good to
ago,
cry, though.
probably.
it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tires you out, that's for sure.
Mhm. Mine's kind of like a cheat answer because like I know I've cried. I can't think of like a specific moment, but I know I've cried like on other like life shit
Mhm.
recently. But like the most recent time I cried was this.
Right.
Yeah.
I think last time I cried it, like now I'm thinking of it as like a book or like a movie I saw or something. Have you seen that Beautiful Boy movie with Timothy Chalamet and Steve Carell?
No.
Play like father and son, and Timothy Chalamet's like his son's like gets hooked on drugs.
Uh-uh.
And it's so sad. It's like so insanely sad. Yeah. That I watched that recently. That might have been last time.
Y'all's stories are so like real and good. And I'm just over here like, yeah, somebody
What happened?
essentially told me I was shit at base, and I was like, I know. That's what I
That'll do
said.
it.
You
That'll
don't
do
gotta tell me.
That would do it. I was like, you're not good at your
You
instrument.
can't
I'd
even
be like,
play the basic Motown bass line. You got this nice ass bass. It was $300. We did good research.
Motown's not easy to play on bass. That's like James Jamerson stuff. That's like
The one I was
It's not
talking about was
Yeah.
simple.
Yeah.
It's okay. Crying means you care about something, and it's cool to care
yeah.
about things.
It is.
I feel like we come from a generation where all of a sudden it's like, I don't care about anything, that's cool.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like
Yeah.
we're finally coming back from that. And it's like, no, actually, like, these are the things I care about. And like, fuck you if you don't care about them.
Right.
Yeah,
which
we
is
take a lot.
great.
I love surrounding myself with passionate people.
Right.
Take
You
a lot
know-
of stuff for granted too.
Hmm.
That's
As long as you
probably-
have something you're passionate about.
Yes. We were
Very
talking
true.
about that earlier, kind of.
Yeah, like we're like earlier I was saying like I have a hard time relating to people that like struggle with purpose because like I've always like since I was little like known what I wanted to do. Like I write poetry and fiction, fantasy. And like even before I really knew what that meant, like I knew I wanted to be a writer and like that was just in my head and like I didn't even know like what that meant.
Right.
But like I was writing little like little comic things with little shitty stick figures and stuff. But like I can tell from what you guys are doing, it's something that you're really enjoying and are passionate about. There's a lot of art in it.
Thank you.
So like is this a vision that's like been growing a long time for you?
Yeah.
I know you said you had a different project before.
Yeah, I originally started this before I moved out to Nashville. A lot of the recordings I did, which were still some that were yet to release, but were like me by myself at my parents' house, just like making like playing on the instruments and like writing the stuff and just making it. And then when I came out to Nashville, I was like, I gotta find a band to do it. And that's how I found it.
Yeah.
And then we've been like writing other stuff together, and we jammed today, and we have a recording session tomorrow.
Heck
So
yeah.
that should be dope. But yeah, it was originally just like something I was doing, and I had some free time before I like came here to move to Nashville to do music and like go to school, which is what I'm doing. So it's just
I don't think I asked where are you guys from?
I'm from Virginia
Okay.
originally.
I'm from Wisconsin,
Yeah.
Okay.
So what parts?
Green Bay.
And I'm from Christiansburg, which is like western end of the state. It's next to Blacksburg, which is where Virginia Tech is.
Okay.
So it's like 6 hours from here. But yeah, that's where my parents are and everything. So, but I moved out here by myself.
Yeah,
Was
music-
it
Sorry, go ahead, man.
I didn't mean to cut you off. I was gonna ask, did you move out here for music?
Yeah, I moved out here. I guess the reason I tell people is to go to school, but the school I'm going to is SAE Institute. So it's like for recording and like for
Okay.
music. It's like to learn how
I
to
got
like,
you.
record and everything. But it was also just kind of an excuse to come to Nashville because it's like where music is happening. So Christiansburg's kind of like a small-ish town, and there's not like a ton of stuff like there is here. So
Yeah, I feel that. I'm from Tupelo, Mississippi.
oh well, there you go.
Nice.
Yeah.
You came out here for similar reasons.
Honestly, I just wanted, like, I won't even say like I had all this intention. It's kind of like you said, you use school as
An
something to
excuse
ground
to-
you as a
yeah.
as an excuse, but also to ground you, to give you a foundation, a
Right.
stepping stone to get on your feet. Because I feel like when you're from a small town that nobody knows of, like moving to a big city, like it's so terrifying. There's so much unknown, especially like nowadays. Like
Yeah.
when I moved here, you could get an apartment for $400, but now it's like
No, you
go
cannot.
fuck yourself. You
Yeah.
can't get one for double that. Like
Sleeping like in the
I reckon
street.
you just die now.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, my sister was
For
going to,
$400, you can go
to
fuck
Vanderbilt.
yourself.
She was
Right.
the nurse practitioner, the one that succeeded. And I was like, well, my mom moved up to be there with her, and my life is kind of shit. And I've always wanted to go somewhere with more opportunities. And I thought that
Right.
was Memphis, but this is probably a better idea.
Yeah. I've never even been to Memphis.
Had like 6 months of a place to stay. Why the fuck not? Needed to run away.
There you go. Yeah.
After that, I was like, this is home.
Yeah. I've been here. It's funny. I started at SAE. I came out here in January of 2020.
Oh, God.
Is when I moved here.
Oh,
So I
man.
was
Thank
here
God for
in
school.
person in school for 2 months. And then
Were you in the
everything hit.
dorms?
No, it's a super small school. It's like one tiny building on Music
Oh.
Row. And it's like a really small school. So like I just have like my apartment that I stay at. But like it was literally I was there for 2 months, like going every day to class, and then everything hit. And then I just did online school on Zoom for like and got an associate's degree, and then now I'm doing the bachelor's program.
Don't you still have online
Bachelor's degree.
classes?
Yeah, it's like half and half now. Like
Okay.
half is like in person, but we still do like a lot of online classes.
Yeah.
I can never do that.
And what about you? Like, what brought you to Nashville? How'd you get here?
I went to school I was supposed to go to college in Minnesota. I went to music school for a semester. And then it shut down due to lack of funding. But I've always wanted to play music. I didn't like school. no
Did
matter
you get
what.
your tuition back?
No, not much of it. Yeah. But thank God I was only there a semester. And then yeah, I just wanted to keep playing music. So I moved down here. And I had some cousins that live down here already. So it'd be nice with familiar faces.
Are they still here?
Yeah, they're still here, but I don't live here. Yeah, I live in I moved back to Wisconsin, so I'm back and forth.
And then we met on Grindr, Craigslist. Sorry,
It
sorry,
was Grindr.
sorry.
Why'd you let him move away? That's difficult.
It was difficult, yeah,
It sucked.
but it's okay.
For me too,
It's okay.
Jackson.
It's sorry.
Hard enough.
Yeah, I know. I know.
He thinks he can leave.
I packed up my
God.
shit and left.
Ooh, this is brutal.
Yeah.
I don't mean that, Alice.
Where is Alice?
She's over there. She's looking
Ladies
at
and
us,
gentlemen.
staring at us.
Oh,
Oh, she's back here too.
I'm looking at your books now that are off camera that are all the way up.
Yeah, there's some manga. There's some psychic self-defense. What else we got? Art of asking. That's like a thesaurus down there for really fucking bougie words. Like I can't even think
Bougie.
of. Let me pull this up.
Like saccharin?
Well, I bet that's in there. Let's see what we got. Let's flip it open to a random page.
spelling bee.
Gobemouche. Gobemouche. From French of gober to gulp down and swallow. Moosh from fly. Definition: a credulous person, a person who believes everything he hears. A gobmoosh.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like really fucking pretentious and awful. Actually, I've never used
If
it.
you ever
once.
used any of these words,
No, not once.
If anyone ever used any of these words in a conversation, you'd be like, "You bought that book, dude."
Yeah, I'd be like,
I know that book. Or
Like,
like
you
you
bought
don't
that
talk
book.
like that.
You bought that book and you actually used it. I hate you.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not
That's
anything
interesting, though.
actually useful, but it is cool. That's like, oh wow,
You're not
there's a
using
lot of words.
Permutation.
Oh, I have used that one.
That's crazy. That's
Hilarious.
pretentious and hilarious. And I turned another page and found Gaboosh again immediately.
Oh,
That's-
that must mean something.
it's
That's
really
the first
useful.
album name is.
There you go.
That's what we're gonna do.
Hell
Wait,
yeah.
doesn't mean
Yeah,
to
in a
drink
book on a
Did you
podcast.
say-
That's the story.
Did you say to drink something?
It was the swallow.
Golf something?
So it
Or
was
a
gob and
person.
moosh, and moosh was like to drink something, but then when you combined them for whatever reason, it meant a gullible person.
To drink the gullible.
Oh yeah,
Drink the gullible man.
yeah, but yeah. It's like
The man's potion.
It happened right to it again.
No, you
He
didn't.
just sips the
It's-
surreptitious
Did you
poison.
actually?
I think
it's
I did.
chosen.
Oh no.
It's a
Or
curse.
it's gonna
It's a
I'm gonna
curse
hear
book.
like that
Sure
word like
you
7
are.
times tomorrow.
No, I mean like
You
look
are.
how pretentious that shit is. It's made
It
of
is.
felt.
It is made of felt.
Yeah,
Well,
like
that's pretty sweet.
Have
Yeah.
you just had it that long, or is it worn that way to be like?
it
this
is.
an
It
old
is
book?
like that. You know,
Okay.
it just comes like that.
It's like it was like you
Like-
found it buried in
Yeah.
the sand
Like
somewhere.
pre-distressed jeans.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's like I feel like everyone who buys that bought it for the same reason I did. So it's just like looks nice because it's
Yeah.
like you're like, oh,
It's the first one I saw. I was like, "What's the gilded tongue?"
Yeah.
It reads well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh wow, he has a huge vocabulary. Oh. Well, that's just a toothbrush. What are you trying to tell me this is besides
Oh,
a
no.
toothbrush?
A good song is what it is.
She has a track called Your Toothbrush. Shout out to Shriek and Violet.
Shameless plug.
Oh, here it is. Okay, that's a fucking tooth. Tell me that's not a
It's a
toothbrush.
nice toothbrush.
Oh, okay. Ozostomia,
Is that English?
the condition of having bad breath or
Oh.
halitosis.
Why do you need another word for halitosis?
It's just a
I think I
synonym
take
for
care of it.
halitosis. Yeah. Oh, I think this is like the Greek equivalent, maybe? No, because that's just stems from the Greek. I don't know. Fuck this book. It makes
I
me
was about
angry.
to say, don't make
Yeah.
me disorder. You done pulled out the dictionary, boring Alice to death.
I'm sorry, Alex. Okay, so next question. How do you think life came to be on Earth? Like, okay, let me specify like human life as opposed to like animal life.
See, this thing, I have no idea because it's like you can talk
No
about
one
the
knows.
basic, like again, no one knows. No one was here. It's like the basic like evolution stuff, but then also how does like souls happen and things like that. That's a crazy thing.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have anything to add on that, Michael?
Um, that's no, that's very, I don't know. Like everyone has different opinions on that again.
Yeah,
Um,
who fucking knows? I kind of have like my own
Space Odyssey
predispositions
2001.
on that. Dude, you read my fucking mind.
Hell yeah.
I'm that deep on the fucking rabbit hole. That's what happened. Except not with the fucking pillar. It was either psilocybin or alien intervention.
Yeah.
But man,
I don't know.
you just read my mind right now. My man.
I don't know though. Yeah. You can't even answer that. Well, you can in your own opinion. You can also agree with other people. And I can also agree with other people on that. Because there's definitely some stuff people say that it's more believing than other things. We were
Yeah.
just talking about that.
So what do you think is the most plausible, I guess? Because you said some things are more. I don't mean to put you to task
Maybe
on
we
it.
have like
What's your
we have like the nutrients. Like, are you saying on this planet? Are you saying like
Like intelligent human life.
or I think we have like the
What do you think
land
it is?
and water here to do it. Like we have like the correct.
So okay, so just natural selection and evolution.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, I mean that makes a lot of sense to me. I think
But how does yeah, who knows?
I think there's like something we've kind of like been looking at for like a few hundred years is like this missing link concept because it's like evolution is obviously how life happens,
right?
but there is kind of this weird thing where we went from being like what are we? Like we're kind of different somehow.
Right.
And like I think it was evolution, but there's some step in the evolution where something occurred, and there's two theories which I kind of find pretty equally plausible. There's Terence McKenna's stoned ape theory about monkeys took psilocybin hispanica and gained awareness. That's how sentient life came to be. Or conversely, the oldest text we have in record is the Epic of Gilgamesh, which is an ancient Sumerian text, like 3000 BC, something like that. And what it describes is a flood story like Noah, but instead of like an ark, there's it's an ark, but instead of animals on it, like they have these vials of essence, which I think we would just call DNA now, or like some kind of like record of it. And I'm getting a little off track. But in that story, they talk about how human life came to be. And basically these aliens called the Anunnaki came down and they gave like these chimps enough sentience to like harvest gold. But they didn't give them like, they were just designed to work. But then there was this one among them called Enki, and he spliced his own like DNA into humans, and like, or maybe like an Adam and Eve kind of situation, like just two of them or something. And that's the Sumerian belief about like how we came to be. I think so. Alien intervention or psychedelics.
And that's the oldest writing.
That is the oldest record
It says that.
in existence. It says that. Yeah.
Well,
Oh, yeah,
Well,
dude.
then that sounds good to me.
And the flood.
I'll
Yeah.
just sign up on
That's-
that. That sounded
Yeah.
great.
And like the flood story in it like it has the thing like in the Bible, God like makes the first rainbow, which is like supposed to signify he's going to stop warring with the planet. In that story, I can't remember his name right now. It's something like really long, but the god is known as being an archer. Like his whole thing is he's a hunter and he hunts with a bow. So after the flood, he hangs his bow up in the sky. So we lose that continuity with the Bible because it's based on a much older story. We're way down the rabbit hole now. Well, fuck.
They just simplified it in the Bible
Yeah,
a little better.
yeah. It's a collection of older stories. And yeah,
Dude, I've never ever heard of that.
yeah, man. Yeah, I could like send you a link or like just look up like the Epic of Gilgamesh because it's really interesting stuff. As far as I know, that's the oldest document we have recorded, and we don't have it complete. Like it's like a stone tablet. It's like got cracks in it.
Nice.
Barnes and Noble.
Yeah.
You can get it online. at Barnes.
You can have like a 1-ton slab
Yeah.
shipped to your house. Oh man, I just finished this great read. It's called Epic of
It's
Gilgamesh.
pretty heavy, but it's
Oh,
good.
can I borrow it? Yeah, you bring your
It's in my front
forklift.
yard, a wheelbarrow.
Well, I don't want to like Gilgamesh the topic or anything, but I am really curious. How did both of you get into music? Like, how was music first introduced to you, or if it's more impactful, like, what was the moment that you realized that music was one of the most important things to you in your life?
Kind of like what you were saying earlier about knowing like your purpose very, very early. I've always known I wanted to be a musician, or at least involved in music since I was like earliest memories since I was like 3 or 4 were like music. My parents just really love music. My dad showed me the Beatles when I was really, really young. And it's like that's basically how everything started, is like from the time I was like 3 or 4, I was like watching his Beatles anthology tapes like obsessively, and like whenever we were in the car, I'd ask to listen to like Beatles CDs and stuff. So it just started with being like obsessed with the Beatles, which I basically still am. But then just like I knew I wanted to play guitar from that, and I love their songs. So I started taking guitar lessons when I was like 8. And then, you know, through that, my guitar teacher showed me different stuff and different bands, and then being in different bands in like middle school and high school, I played like guitar, bass, drums, and like all these different bands. So, and just like evolving that, just getting into other bands as you go along. But it all started with just like my family loving music, and like other bands too, but mainly like just like an obsession and love for like the Beatles. That's pretty much how it started for me when I was like really, really young.
And it sounds like it wasn't like even a specific instrument. You were just music.
Just
Was your calling?
Yeah, just music, because that's why I think originally kind of gravitated to guitar just because I think a lot of people see that first and just like gravitate to that. But then I started playing drums later because also I really loved Ringo, and I also got into Nirvana later, and I loved Dave Grohl, and I also got really into in like high school. Got really into Nirvana and Foo Fighters, and that's how I heard that Dave, like the first Foo Fighters record he made, was like all by himself, and he played all the instruments. So then I like taught myself how to play drums, so I could play all the instruments on my own recordings and stuff. So,
R.I.P. Taylor Hawkinson, man.
It's a real man.
Oh my gosh, I'm still upset about that. That was like a kick in
It's
the
a
gut.
big
It's a
bummer.
huge upset.
Oh,
Yeah.
I saw them live once.
Oh man.
That was my first concert.
Really?
Yeah, man, that was a good.
I never
concert.
saw him.
I saw them in 2017. And I thought I was gonna get to see him again. I thought I had more time, but I'm glad I got to see him when I did.
So what about you? What's your profound music experience? Your coming to music moment?
I love music. I was kind of like a hyper kid too, like especially, but music helped kind of helped me. So but music was always around in my house. Like my mom was a singer, and my dad loved music too. So it was always like 70s rock and stuff playing, like Supertramp, Dire Straits, Willie Nelson, a lot of Willie Nelson. And then I kind of just grew through that, and I found it like that was like, I don't know, music. Music.
Okay.
Yeah, but no, music was just always around, and I didn't really like doing anything else other than music. Like that was I was like addicted to it. I still am, but like listening anything. But I don't know. And then I started playing the drums in 5th grade. Took lessons, and then just we started a band in high school, and that's kind of like when I really started to like it, when we were playing shows. That's kind of the whole reward, like to see other people dig into your work that you've put a lot of hours into.
Yeah, and I feel like when you show yourself to other people doing what you love, a lot of times it feels like you're showing them who you really are for the first time, and maybe they didn't see you before. And also maybe like when it's new to you, you're like, oh, I see myself in a new light for the first time.
Yeah.
I think
Oh yeah.
the cool thing about music is that we spend so much of our time in our life like stressing and overthinking, and when it comes to music, it's just like an expression. It takes you out of that thinking place and into that feeling place.
Oh yeah. No,
Also
of
really
course.
vulnerable, because like it's like I don't know, it's just weird, especially singing. especially
It's
singing.
so naked, exactly.
I was gonna say, it's
what
like
do
being
I do in
naked
my
in front of
hands?
somebody
Like
for,
this
the
is
first
this is
time. Yeah.
literally me.
Oh,
Like
yeah, it's like because even like playing different instruments, like I could show like forever when I was making all my demos and stuff I made when I play, I just like make songs that I had lyrics for, but I didn't have the guts to like sing them yet. So I put like a guitar and a bass and drums down and show people and be like, "That's really cool," and they'd be like, "Is there vocals on it?" I'm like, yeah, but like I didn't sing them. It took me forever to actually start singing because it's like you can. Drums, like if you're good at drums, that's great, but it sounds like drums. Guitar, you can put distortion, whatever on it, make it sound, but like your voice is like you.
Yeah, it's
like
literally
that's like
you.
how
yeah,
you sound.
exactly. Like you're
Like-
like, okay, I need to practice more, and somebody's like, no, your voice is shit.
Yeah, it's like the way when you open your mouth and say stuff, I hate that. That's my least favorite thing. And that's brutal. Like
Yeah.
if someone's like, I don't like play the way you play guitar, the way you play drums, it's like, I mean, that's
my
well,
hands
whatever.
fault.
But if someone's like, I don't like your voice, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, like
Exactly.
yeah.
I grew up in the YouTube space. I feel like
yeah.
there's a lot of platforms that aren't quite as cruel, but there were definitely comments that were like, singing is not you. You should quit. You know,
Ooh,
bad
yeah,
grammar
people
and
are-
all.
Yeah.
People are
Like
ruthless.
I
All
shouldn't take that to
lowercase.
heart, but I do.
I carry on.
Yeah. Oh man.
No, but it's good to care too about
Oh
like,
yeah, for sure.
what other people think.
You have
Especially
to
take
a little bit.
advice from other people.
Like
I would love to be like, I don't give a shit what other people think, but I totally do. I'm like, there's a level where I'm totally like, I want you to like it. Like at the end of the day, you know.
That's you made a really good point, Michael, because like I go out of my way. I just realized you're all wearing the same shoes. What the fuck?
No, we're not.
Oh my. Oh, maybe
You do
Those
have
are
a pair of those that you
Skechers.
brought.
I mean, sorry, those
I
are
should
Vans. Those are
These are Heelys.
Converse.
You gotta
These
show
are
Alice your
Skechers.
shoes real quick, because she can
Alice
she can
doesn't
see
care
she can
about
see their
me.
shoes.
Alice, do you like my
These are
Heelys?
Skechers, not Converse.
I do.
But they're comfy and
They,
they
well, they
zip
look
up, so I don't
they
have
look
to tie
almost
'em.
all the same.
Yeah, my new
Um,
Gucci slides.
what was the same?
Something meaningful, and you're like, shoes.
It was about. Oh, I don't even.
Squirrel.
I'm not recording.
Oh yeah. No, what you're saying, like you have to care what people think. Like you can't be like a complete sociopath all the way. And
A
I
little sociopath.
yeah, just a little bit. Yeah,
Even when people say like I don't care, I don't believe them. I'm
Well,
like, you
right.
care.
But if you
little.
don't care, then your ego is huge. Like you
Yeah.
know, too. Like if you don't care what other people think, I think you're just so like you're pretty full of your stuff. I don't know. You
yeah.
know what I mean?
And like I was just gonna say, like I go out of my way to surround myself with people that will tell me when I'm wrong,
Mhm.
like that will correct me.
Yeah, I think that healthy place is like finding that line of like caring about the people's opinions that you know have the best interest in
Right.
you.
Right.
You know, like if this coming from a troll, like yeah, maybe we brush that off because we know what we're doing and the people we love know what we're doing. But
Right.
we should always care what the people closest to us have to say.
Right.
Yeah.
With good intentions.
And if the people closest to you can't be real with you, who's gonna do that?
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
exactly. Closer than a therapist, even.
I think like it's funny, like I end up holding my friends like more accountable, like to a higher standard than I do other people. Well, I guess that's obvious, I guess. But yeah, like I someone's like shitty behavior that I barely know, like I'm not probably gonna say anything to them because
Right.
like that's not really, I guess I don't feel comfortable doing that.
Right.
But if like you're
It's not worth the
super
argument.
yeah, but if like you're super close to me and like I see like something's like something you're doing is hurting you, then it's like I'm going to tell you about it and you're gonna hear me.
Right.
Like and and yeah, that's the kind of people like I have to have around me. Like who if you don't have that, then they're not really friends, I think.
Right.
It's like really superficial. Go ahead.
Have you guys ever had a moment where somebody close to you called you on your bullshit and it was kind of profound and like caused you to like look and be like, oh wow, I need to change this about myself? Or conversely, if you haven't, like, if you had an experience where somebody didn't tell you that you were fucking up and they just one day were like, I'm tired of your shit, and you were like, oh shit, I wish you'd told me you were upset, man. You know, like
Yeah, that's kind of hard. Especially that's just like part of maturing as a person is realizing when to tell people that. Because I think when you're young, you just don't want to get in fights with like your friends, and you don't want to. You're afraid they're like not going to be your friend anymore. So then you sometimes like even if they're doing something that annoys you, or you're doing something that annoys them, they won't tell you. And then like that can be weird. And learning when to be like, hey, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. Like I just want to be like honest with you. Yeah.
Yes, dude, for sure. That's like I'm like a very like straight up kind of like forward person like that.
Right.
And like I guess like not everyone wants to be like that though. Not everyone wants to, but it's I don't it's like I expect the people close to me to do that, to like tell me, hey, like there's something you're doing that's bothering me,
Right.
instead of letting it build, because like I don't see it, like I'm not observant like
Right.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not sounded like you're kind of coming from a similar place on that.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I'm almost problem is I'm almost like hyper observant. Like I feel like I'm always like like reading like what the vibe is in the room or like how people feel. So like
Yeah.
which sometimes is useful because you can like tell like, okay, I should maybe not talk about this, or we should like do this to make someone more comfortable. But then also you're like hyper observant of people.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes you can that can be weird too, because then you can kind of project things on the people that they're not actually feeling if you're like observing too hard. And that can be an issue sometimes. It'd be like, I feel like you're not, I feel like something's up, and they're like, no, I'm fine. Like
Yeah,
I'm all
really, when
good.
you're stuck in your own head, you're not actually listening to the people
Right.
around you.
Right.
That reminds me of like an Alan Watts thing I was listening to, where he was talking about like there's a chair and then there's like your idea of a chair. And it's like that's true of like a person too. Like there's what is a person? Well, it's like all these cells close together that aren't even really connected. And it's they die every 7 years, but we still call that the same person because
Right.
there's like some continuity there.
Mhm.
And it's like, so we don't really know what the fuck a person is,
Right.
except beyond that. And like but we have this idea of like your friend and like how they
Right.
feel, like you're saying.
Right.
Like so if you introspect and like, or extrospect and like try and like put on the situation, that can be harmful too. I guess there's a balance to it for sure.
Right. Yeah.
For sure. Did you have any, like, same question, did you have any like moments like where someone came to you, or like maybe someone should have?
Oh yeah, definitely people coming to me and telling me what I'm doing wrong. I'm not always gonna change it right away. I mean,
That's the hard
that
part.
takes time.
Like,
But,
no, I'm not.
like, and if
I'm
you expect
fine.
it right away too, if you expect it right away, it's got to go both ways. Like if the person expects it right away, for you to like change, if it's like something with like your day to day, whatever, you know, that's bothering them, you got to expect a little time to change. Like you get it, give them a time to.
Yeah.
But thanks for letting me know before.
Yeah.
We die. You know?
Right, for sure.
Before we're gone.
Yeah, it's like how I would know unless you told me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know I had broccoli in my teeth. Thank you. I was
My whole
feeling a
life?
fool out here.
Yeah, your whole life. No one has told you you have broccoli. I'm gonna be the guy to tell you.
Every picture you've ever taken, just like
You could use that term, the toothbrush.
Yeah. Oh yeah, what was it? Can't remember.
start with an O. I don't even remember what it was.
It was dumb, whatever it was.
Yeah.
What be like outside of music, do you guys have any like what are like some profound like pieces of art that like music, or not music, but like books, cinema, like video games growing up for you guys?
It's funny actually talking about like cinema and like movies. A lot of my favorite, it's all tied. It's so funny how much stuff is just tied into music. Because like even last night we were watching that fucking documentary that like Earth Russell. I watched so many. Like I feel like I'm so like into music that even when I'm like watching like a movie, it's like a documentary about like the making of an album or like some band or
Right?
something. Just, like,
I
a
know a lot of
total nerd
people
about
that
it.
are like the soundtrack to this video game is like instrumental to my life.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And like whenever I get into something like a band or an artist or something, I feel like I can't just like casually get into them. Like I have to like know like how many records did they have? Like they had this many, they had like periods like this. They had like all this crazy. I have to know about like their life. Like I want to know like what happened. So but I don't know. Movie wise, I tend to watch either like stuff that's related to music or like documentary type stuff or like comedies and things like that, because I know that I don't tend to watch much drama and stuff because I'm like I don't like to be anxious for fun. Like it's fine. Like when I like watch entertainment, like I want it to be like a relief. Like I don't
A little romance.
yeah. Sure, it's fine.
Sure, it's fine.
It's
You
fine.
can keep that on.
Sure, it's fine. But I don't know. Other than that, books are sometimes hard for me. That is like a self-conscious thing I have. Is I wish I read more. I don't read as much as I should.
Join the book club.
I should join the book club.
Or you just do Audible. That's easy.
There you go.
Do it in the
Don't
car.
feel bad about audiobooks. I feel like everybody in this world is spreading
Oh,
themselves
for sure.
so thin, like
Yeah.
working, providing for themselves, and then
Right.
making time to do what they love. We all have so many commitments. Like, I feel like there's nothing.
Yeah, that's how I get a
I've-
lot of reading.
I've
done.
met some intellectual assholes that are like, you didn't read it, like, and it's like,
Yeah,
motherfucker,
yeah, like,
I-
fuck
it's the
you.
same
I
information.
saw the words
Exactly.
in my mind.
It's the same
Yeah.
info. Who
and
cares?
it's multitasking. It's time
Yeah.
efficient as fuck.
Also, I like having something in and like listen. I listen to podcasts a lot too. When either albums or podcasts, when I'm just doing stuff, just listening to it because
Exactly.
it goes in a different way if you're listening to it as opposed to seeing it.
For sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wish I was more well read. That's like a self-conscious thing. Is I wish I read.
That's,
Because I think I kind of had that stupid slacker kid opinion. Like maybe sometimes we were like, I don't read. That's stupid.
No,
I
And
feel
then
like
now
the
I'm like,
problem with
that's
that
just
is that like we grew up in the like accelerated reader program generation. It's like every time that you were introduced to literature, it wasn't like, hey, let me show you a whole new world. It was like you're forced to do this. You have to read this thing that you don't necessarily relate to.
So
we never
reading
we were never fostered. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. There was no like love of reading,
Exactly.
like exploration, like
Yeah.
something you relate to, like
Yeah.
the words someone chooses, like the way that you feel about music. I feel like you absolutely, like you say, you want to read. I feel like you appreciate the lyricism.
Yeah.
Oh
Exactly.
yeah, it's definitely it's an art form.
Fiction is hard for me to read sometimes too, because part of what I love about nonfiction is I find it like really interesting because it's like just as interesting to me as a lot of people find fiction, but it's like this like happened. Like that's what's part of like makes it so interesting. It's like this has actually happened to somebody or
It feels
something. So,
productive, you're
yeah,
learning
yeah, you're like,
something.
oh my gosh, this
You know,
was so
something I've kind of learned, and like I totally agree with you, but like something I've kind of learned, like doing like writing fantasy novels, is like that stuff happened to someone too. Just not
sure
exactly that way.
Yeah.
You know.
That's the thing. It's more just like finding the right thing that interests me enough to like keep wanting
Yeah.
to read it. For sure.
But no, like I agree with you. Like listening to a good nonfiction, like and like or like an autobiography or like a historical piece, like that's like I definitely enjoy that every
Mhm.
once in a while for
Yeah.
sure.
For sure.
Yeah, I like reading. Feels good after you do it because you have something to think about, you know?
Yeah.
Think about what you read. But I don't know, I just don't, like Jackson said, I agree. No, I don't do it enough. And then I don't really have the pit, like, I don't know.
What about movies or video games?
Not a big movie.
Or I guess
watcher.
TV shows too.
Yeah,
TV shows, I feel like it's like a basic like Tinder profile, like what people watch. I like The Office, I like Parks and Rec. Like it's like all the like go-to shows. It's not anything super creative.
yeah, I don't know. I never really, I don't watch TV much anymore, or like movies really, but I appreciate movies. Some of them. I don't know. I never really got into that kind of stuff, to be honest.
What'd you do as a kid, like besides music?
I was outside a lot.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I drew a lot.
Inspired by nature.
I did. Yeah, but I liked all art. Like I always like art class or anything.
Yeah.
I think it all relates some like with creativity. I think that all
Yeah.
kind of.
I really like drawing and stuff. I should draw more and stuff, but I drew a lot more when I was a kid. But I like drawing paint. I really always loved art and stuff.
Yeah.
Like a month ago, I finally went to the Frist like art
Yeah.
museum downtown. It was awesome.
I love first.
You been to the golf court?
Yeah, the movie theater.
Mm,
I've only been there once. I saw they had a special screening of that Tom Petty documentary about wildflowers and making that. I saw that at the Bell Court, and that was really cool. That's the only time I've ever been.
I take that back. Nacho Libre is a good movie.
Hell yeah, it is. Yes, it is. Nacho!
That's one of the greatest movies in
Hell
history of
yeah.
cinema, right there. It's
It's
Nacho
a
Libre.
masterpiece.
Did you say you had 2 copies of it
I
on
have-
DVD?
yeah.
You gotta have a
That's-
spare.
You gotta get those numbers up. Those
Yeah.
are rookie numbers.
I was worried for a while.
Yeah,
It was getting worn down.
it was getting
from how
worn
many
down.
times
And
I
you're like, I
watched it.
can't not have
Yeah, I
a
gotta
physical
have it.
copy of Nacho
Yeah.
Libre. Yeah.
That's awesome.
No, I don't know why I had to. Must have stole it. I'm joking.
Yeah.
No, but
Drawing, we
Yeah.
should read more Nacho Libre. That's what I got out of
Yeah.
We have work to do.
that. Yeah.
That's actually the name of this episode. Drawing, read more, Nacho
Nacho
Libre.
Libre.
leave out a comma and then it's read more Nacho Libre.
Say what?
Leave out a comma and then it's read more Nacho Libre.
Read more Nacho
Everyone needs to
Libre.
do that too.
Yeah. Read it, if it doesn't exist, someone needs to write a Nacho Libre book. And
I do. I
it's
was like,
just
I wish that
a
was based on a
recap of the
book.
movie.
I
That'd be
wish it was
sweet.
based on a book.
Wait,
Really well.
who's written a book based on a movie?
Right?
That's a good
It's
idea.
had to have gone in
Turn it
reverse.
inside out.
Yeah,
Okay, there's Star Wars books. Did the movies come first?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Or did Lego Star Wars come from?
That's what happened.
I'm not a huge Star Wars fan, but
That's what it was.
one of my best friends is
Okay.
ridiculously into it, and I'm pretty sure from talking to him, just from like secondhand smoke. Like I'm a
Okay.
secondhand Star Wars fan. Like I have all this.
They exhale it
May
all
the
the
you.
Lord be
information.
with you, motherfucker.
Yeah,
They blow it all out onto you, and you just like
yeah.
you get in the Star
I
Wars.
just get like
Like the green
the most toxic part of it.
The Green Mile.
Sure.
That's
Um,
the Green Mile.
I'm pretty sure the books came first.
Okay.
But then with like the 7, 8, and 9 though, they didn't do what was in the books. They
Right.
did something completely different.
Great.
Yeah.
They did whatever.
We should write a
Let
Nacho book on Nacho Libre.
Yeah, I think you guys should just come back over and we'll write chapter 1.
I'm expecting it to be over 1,000 pages.
Okay. We'll do what we can.
We'll do what we can.
Or just keep.
It'll be
It's such
so
a
in-depth.
fantastic movie. It's
Yeah.
such a fantastic. Keep typing it.
Yeah. It's like no, we're only at 500. It's like we have to fill another 500
We
pages.
said 1,000.
Talk about what his suit
So,
was made
yeah.
of. Sweet.
Well,
Let the
Alice,
bar some respect.
I think we have reached the end of our time. Jackson, Michael,
Thank you guys very much.
Thank
that was
you for
fun.
having us.
I haven't thought about that stuff in a while, to be honest.
hey,
Good in depth.
this was a really good conversation.
Yeah.
You made it really easy for me. I'm not the best at this. I'm still trying
No,
to
you're good.
figure it
That
out.
was
So
fun. That was awesome. Yeah, you guys did a good job. Thank you.
thank you. Yeah, good news for Modern Man. They have a video out now. Everything is fine. Link in the description below. And yeah, soon you'll be able to get that the single streaming on everything.
Wherever you stream your
Wherever
stuff,
you stream
it'll be out
things.
soon.
Yeah, thank you, gentlemen, again.
Thank you.
man.
And Alice, have a good night. We'll see you next week.
Peace.
Woo!